The Flower Sermon. The Flower Sermon, in which Sakyamuni Buddha transmits direct wisdom to disciple Mahakassapa. While the Buddha gave many spoken sermons, after he became enlightened, during one sermon in particular, he did nothing but hold up a flower. It is said that upon seeing it, his disciple Mahakassapa was immediately enlightened. Why did this simple display of a flower have such a profound effect upon Mahakassapa? And what can we learn from this lesson? Form and formless. Form and formless are intertwined in this world. The formless can only be expressed in form, and form can only be thought with the formless. Historical records show that the flower the Buddha held up at the sermon was a lotus flower, which is associated with Buddhism to this day. The lotus is known for its great beauty, but it is also unique in that it requires thick mud and muck in which to extend its roots, so that it can grow and eventually yield flowers. It is because of this thick mud and muck, not in spite of it, that the beautiful lotus blooms. Mahakassapa was one of the disciples of Gautama Buddha. He is regarded in Buddhism as an enlightened disciple, being foremost in ascetic practice. The flower sermon was held near a pond during Buddha's later years. When he held up the freshly picked lotus flower, roots and all, dripping mud, the assembled crowd was silent, not understanding its significance. But after a moment or two, Buddha's disciple Mahakassapa smiled. He was the only attendee to receive the Buddha's message that day, but the account of the flower sermon is remembered and revered in Zen Buddhism even now. A wordless transmission. When you want to see the moon, you need to look beyond the fingers, right? It is said that when the Buddha saw Mahakassapa smile, he told the crowd that since he, the Buddha, possessed the true and marvelous mind of nirvana, the Dharma eye, and the form of the formless, a subtle Dharma gate that needs no forms or language, but is a special energy transmission, he was now entrusting it to Mahakassapa. Since the Buddha was getting on in years, Mahakassapa became his successor from that day forward. What did Mahakassapa see and experience? What can we learn from a flower? Besides the hope of peace and beauty arising out of suffering, mud and muck, flowers embody both form and the formless at once. They are a wonderful reminder that while all forms can be appreciated, they are fleeting. The formless oneness of all that is ever present, a field from which everything arises, and to which everything returns. The flower and this field are one and the same. The roots of Zen Buddhism. This story is a pillar of the Zen school of Buddhism, which focuses on direct experience rather than dogma or intellectual analysis. Meditation to reach the formless consciousness of oneness is favored over dwelling too much on doctrines, words, or concepts. The simple act of seeing a flower, bold yet fleeting, was enough to help Mahakassapa through the gateless gate. How might meditating upon a flower help you to see the true nature of things?